We're nearing Game of the Year season. We're getting close to hearing about which game is subjectively chosen as Game of the Year by every blog out there. But there are some facts about the previous Game of the Years that can let us with reason assign some probabilities to this year's and next year's Game of the Year. For the purposes of this short and high-level analysis, if you can call it that, I've used a list of active Game of the Year awards from the Wikipedia as a dataset. For next year, I've planned a more expansive analysis that can give us some hints to what the prototypical Game of the Year really is. But for now, this will do. The final list that I decided to present is the top games that capture the largest percentage of the total number of active rewards handed out since 1998. Before 1998, the total number of active awards drops off dramatically. You'll see for every game I've listed, the total number of awards that year, total that game won, percentage of the total won, whether it's indie or AAA, metascore, user score on Metacritic, and how high the game ranks on user score in this list for that year. And one secret I'll reveal before the end. Number 1 on the list, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Number 2 on the list, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Both the top games are Zelda games, and in my opinion, the 2 best Zelda games. Toss in some subjective bias right there. But Breath of the Wild took a staggering 76% of the Game of the Year awards for that year. But there is an obvious reason for that. What other games came out that year? Do you remember? Yeah, I pretend those didn't exist either. You'll see a couple more examples like this throughout the list. Moving on. Number 3. Resident Evil 4. Wait, Star Wars Battlefront. Alright, the first one, which was the actual second one, which makes the other one the fourth one. Number 4, The Last of Us. Number 5, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. Number 6, Half-Life 2. This one didn't really do that much new stuff, but everything it did was done so damn well. Anyways, number 7, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. This was a great year with steep competition. Number 8, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. Number 9, another Zelda game, Twilight Princess. Number 10, and the only multiplayer game in the top 10. There's only a few on this entire list actually. Overwatch. That's an interesting observation. Now let's look at the top 10 list and see if there's something more interesting here. Well, all AAAs, that's not interesting, that's actually obvious. Larger budgets makes for a greater opportunity to refine a game. All these games seems to have a rich story in the gameplay. Overwatch has a story, but is mostly ignored since it's a multiplayer match-by-match game. All the games on this list has a really high Metacritic score, but you'll find that in all the Game of the Year games. The user scores diverge very little from the critic score, with the exception of Overwatch, which seems to me a case of you either love it or you hate it kind of game. I wouldn't buy too much into the user score here. Only Skyrim, Overwatch, and Breath of the Wild is bested on user rankings on the whole top 38 list, which is interesting, but not unexpected. Now for a secret metric. What kind of game is it? Like I said, they have a rich story that you play in. But half of the games in the top 10 is open world. Now that is truly interesting. As far as I know, not that many open world games are made. It is certainly overrepresented. I'd even wager that this year's winner will in all likelihood be an open world game. The rest of the list looks like this. There isn't too many conclusions that we can draw yet. Next year, I hope to have a much more comprehensive dataset and stronger methodology, so that the subjectivity of what we consider the best games is to some degree dispelled and made into objective truth. I know that just about anyone can decide on random metrics what the game of the year can be, but looking at what the popular blogosphere and award shows use as their metrics for a game of the year, this can be a proverbial microscopic lens to the inner workings of what games people think players love. But more importantly, we might be able to glean some truth or facts about what people think good games are. And I don't mean just good games, actually. I mean the best games. What kind of expectations do we have for what we consider the best games? Subjective measures aside, what is the truth of, well, human nature when playing games? What is it that we like? Surely we aren't all that too different from each other that some facts can be established. I don't expect that I will be able to do this from something as simple as this. But maybe I can make one single piece in the puzzle that is human experience when playing games. I've been Frank. Farewell.